Hey guys, I'm Mercedes Santalla and I'm the head of community of Maido. And today I'm gonna walk you through creating your first cinematography project. So let's go there. To start creating your first cinematography project or whatever project you want to start, you have two options. You either start with director or you start without director, which is the more crafting part. To start with director, you just have to click on director, which is our AI copilot, and you just place over here, you drag and drop the brief, your client brief, or you either write it or you just click here and attach it, the file that you want. That's the easiest part, and you just start iterating to create the concept that you want to work on or you work with, and then creating the script. You work everything end to end in the chat, but that's the easiest part. Let's do it without director. So if you have something in mind already and you want to work by the concept that you already worked on, I totally recommend you to create a new text, type the whole concept that you want, but something really important is to name it right. So you place here concept, and then you create another one for the script. And once you have it done, it's really important as well to name it right. So script. And here, if you want to change the color or whatever, so it's easier for you to actually find it whenever you are diving into your infinite canvas, you can do that. And also, to actually place it even better in order, you can select both and click into Control G, so you get everything placed on a group. Also, you can change the name and say that this is the starting point as well, or whatever. You can do it however it's easier for you and how it matches your usual process, your creative process. So once we have this done, it is easier. We can do it step by step on the storyboard by hand, but we really recommend you doing it with our copilot, with director. So whenever I told you that it was really important to name it, it was because whenever we were asking director to actually create the storyboard automatically, you're going to reference the concept and the script that you already worked on. So you ask copilot to create a storyboard with this concept, and you name the concept and by this script, and then you click generate, and it generates you the full storyboard in order having that in mind. So once it's done, you go to storyboard place and you can work it, change it and iterate it as much as you want. You can change the narrative in here, you can change the duration, you can change whatever you want. You can duplicate one part, one asset of the script or the storyboard. You can play however you want to play. But let's go back into the canvas because we're gonna work on developing our characters. So let's start playing a little bit. To create images of a specific character, I really recommend you creating a sheet with various poses of the person, kind of like this. And to generate it, because you have like every different sides, front, back of that person. So whenever we're generating whatever in the video, it has a reference of every single side of that person. So and already having working on the clothing that you want with the character and the whole world of the character. So to create it, you select the references and you click and on your second button on the right one, and you click generate, or either way you just click twice and you open the pro editor. And once we're here, we can either select the model we want to use or attach any other thing or any references or any, I don't know, concepts that we already worked on in another document or whatever. And then we tell him the aspect ratio that we want to work on and their resolution. So once we have this, we can actually use our own raw prompt and we do it by our own style of prompting, or we can ask him to fine-tune the prompt so it actually upscales the prompting you're using in the commands you're giving to the editor. So once we have this, we ask him for whatever we want to generate, like generate this image of 50 Cent dressed like this in this pose, whatever, and it starts generating the new images. So once we have everything worked out from every single character, it would be really good also to actually work on their locations, because whenever we place every single character on a different location, it gets every single point of view of that location as well, and it doesn't like drive us crazy because we're looking for consistency here. So it's really important to generate it, and whenever we're also prompting and telling creator or our editor pro to generate whatever new image or scene, concrete scene, we're referencing, as we did before in this part, in the starting point, with this text referencing changing the name. We're also going to use it during the whole workflow, referencing like the character, the space, other scenes or other places that we worked on. So it's really important that we name it right. So the first images that you generate are the ones that you can later use as like an example of style. So usually you have to explain more of what you want to appear. Like this is another example that we used for this video, and you can also try it yourself. Another thing is that we usually group to create images with like logos or I don't know, some kind of object that we want to place in a certain scene or whatever. We actually create another group with that reference, with those references. Double click to already go into our Maido director or the editor pro, and you tell him generate I don't know, an image of this different scene referenced by this logo. It has to have it on it, and it generates you. And again, you select whatever you want, however you want. And once you have that, it's gonna start working and creating new images. So here's another prompt as a reference that you can use. And about scenes, once we have all that created, we have the characters, we have everything we want to place on, we have the locations, we have everything. We're going to work on the scenes that we're going to play on or put or place on our storyboard. So whenever you want to use the specific characters in the specific location to maintain this style, you can do this as prompting and selecting the location and the characters with the at. So you select this and the character, and you tell to maintain with the exact identity that we're using on the rest of the images to actually use those references. So whenever you're editing and creating new images and all these scenes, you can already create the video if you already have it on point and you like the scene and you like the look. You can already generate the video over here, or you can start also doing it here. Something else that we also help you with is whenever you're prompting, we help you with different lenses, aperture, aspect ratio, shots, angles, lighting. So whenever you need anything, you just reference it. You go like, create this with this light, this color, this shot, this aspect ratio, or whatever, referencing these two characters dancing or whatever in this other place, and you mention it. So it's something that we actually try to help you as much as we can with the prompting and with the whole process. So over here we have another two examples of how to work on the continuity of different scenes and how to make them coherent in spaces. And another one is to create resources with the same style and having that aesthetic coherence with everything. And we recommend you doing these two things, like referencing the groups of the previous images you worked on, which we're talking about this one's with every character and every location. And then always using similar prompting with the same block. So again, if you need any help, you can just ask director to help you and ask him, I want to reference this and this to try to make it coherent, so he's going to help you do it. So whenever you want to change the aspect ratio of whatever image to create another scene, the only thing you want to do, well, you can either also ask director or you can generate it yourself. So in order to do it yourself, the only thing you need to do is to actually ask over here the editor. So you say create the, I don't know, cover 2, for example. So it's really important to give it the reference, create this image without changing anything. And then you select over here the aspect ratio that you want to change, like 4:3. And you go and press generate, and it generates you a new one. So we're going to do that. And it's going to start processing, and you can actually keep on working on whatever you want. Meanwhile, is creating itself. So if you want to also like select the images you want to use on the storyboard, you can already see it's done already. So once we have it, you can place it here. So imagine that we already worked on creating 2 different ones, and we like this one a little bit more than the other one. Imagine that we forgot about changing the quality of the image, and we like the first one better than the second one. We can just click on the right button and say that we want to for production, so we do not forget which one is the one that we finally ended up selecting to place on the storyboard. So once we go to the storyboard, you have my assets over here, and the ones that were selected for production are gonna be here. So it's easier for you to just go and drag them over here or change it however you wanna do it. Once you have it, you can create the video. And to generate a new one, you can place the reference here, and you generate the video by entering again on the Editor Pro. Remember that you have this help one more time, the movement, the depth, the energy, the environment, whatever you need, you have it over here to help you prompt better. And also another thing is that you have over here the audio to help you create the audio you need or the music you need to place on the storyboard as well. And once you have it all placed and you have it all ready, you go to the editor and you start creating your video and editing anything. And then you can actually download it, everything. You can export your whole video from here, or you can actually download your videos from here. So I really hope this helped you, and I really wish to see you soon in MITO Universe.